I know it's been a long time since I've posted anything. We had a lot going on with Sun and Fun, trying to get some things done to get our bill across the finish line for the state of Florida. Some other developments personally and in the aviation arena. So just wanted to take some time to post. And I know it's been a while. We'll try to get a lot better about staying fresh on things. So first and foremost, we've been in this fight for well over a year and a half now about the ADSB being used for billing fees. And I'm very, very glad to say that common sense has won through. And if you can believe it, we actually got legislation passed in the state of Florida, bipartisan support, overwhelmingly. There were two senators and two congressmen that voted against our bill, and those were the two senators and two state congressmen that represented both the Kissimmee Gateway Airport and the Orlando Executive Airport, both of which are politically aligned with those environments, and those airport directors, I'm sure, have had a chance to bend the ears of their representatives without them having the benefit of our side of things as well. So I don't know how much of the whole truth they've been given. Nonetheless, outside of those four people throughout the whole state of Florida, we were able to get next to unanimous support for our bill, which ended up getting signed into law by Governor DeSantis. This will go into effect July 1st, and it prohibits the use of ADSB for billing for all aircraft anywhere in the state of Florida flying under Part 91 for aircraft below 12,500 pounds. So this is a great win for us in the state of Florida. I do really want to take a moment and thank, I know I've got the Facebook group and I've been at some of the meetings, but this has been a community effort. This has been, it takes a village kind of scenario. And I really want to take a moment to say thank you to Ron Creel, who's come along and helped out in so many ways. One of the quiet guys behind the scenes. He's been involved with this from ground zero. He's taken some personal issues as well, been discriminated against and dealt with a lot of blowback from this. And I really appreciate Ron staying in there in the fight and fighting with us. I want to thank Craig Butterworth, who brought this to light first and foremost earlier on. He also has a podcast called The Runway Life. Strongly encourage you to follow. He is trying to keep tabs on all things that affect general aviation. Big thank you to Stacy Heaton from AOPA. Without her, we wouldn't be here. She's been faithful. She's been at all of the public meetings with me up in Tallahassee. I've been to every subcommittee, and she's also driven a lot of the efforts to make the AOPA members aware in the state, and she's worked directly with the congressman and the state senator that helped get this done. So tremendous advocate. And funny thing about Stacy is if you are working with her, you think you're the only thing she's working on. She's very much on top of things, very communicative, but at the same time, she's out there saving airports in the Southeast, whether it's Cedar Key or out to Everglade Parks or whatnot. There's a lot going on. So short term is very, very happy to announce July 1st is our effective date. For those of you that are interested, we're going to probably do a lunch on July 1st to celebrate. This will be probably somewhere around 11 to 12 up in Winter Haven at the restaurant there on the field. If you want to come by and swing us, we have some pins we'll hand out. I know I personally encourage anybody who would like to, on your way to Winter Haven, take a moment and go do a touch and go at Kissimmee. Enjoy flying in without the benefit of getting an ADSB-based bill after the fact. Now, that being said, I do want to stress, I understand the airport director is still committed to this deal with Vector, even though we've given them a better option that would have made more money for the city, more money for the FBOs in the area, would have kept general aviation attracted and coming in. I don't know why he's not pursuing it, but my understanding is from internal things I've heard that we could probably expect that he's going to elevate the landing fee prices and invest in having Vector still be the contract carrier through cameras on the field. So all that to be said, if you do land in Kissimmee and you do get a bill from Vector after July 1st, I would encourage you to ask them to develop the proof through photograph that your wheels actually touch the ground. If they did, you unfortunately legitimately owe the bill. I would encourage all pilots to avoid flying into Kissimmee and not encourage any business for airports that are doing business with Vector or flip into this, I think, pretty unfair and unreasonable landing fee structure. Too bad that they didn't want to go work with pilots. But nonetheless, that's okay. We still have other airports in the area. X-Ray 04 is a great airport. Winter Haven's always just been a real winner. Great folks there. I love to go in those airports because the aviation community is still alive. Pilots are talking to each other. They're going out. They're working on each other's planes. They're flying out for the $100 hamburgers, and it's just kind of creating the community, which sadly is something we've really lost in Kissimmee here over the last year and a half. But nonetheless, now I personally am no longer a tenant at Kissimmee. I, with great happiness, turned in my my pass to the airfield the other day, and I'll be glad to walk away from it. Unfortunately, me and my co-owners sold our airplane, so we are no longer aircraft owners. You never know what comes up down the road, but I'll go back to renting for the time being, and hope to see some of you guys there on some of the fly-in opportunities we'll be putting out there. So that's the latest update from Florida as far as the ADSB piece goes. I did see, by the way, I'm not sure how this is going to grow, but I did see a post the other day that Kissimmee actually had an electric aircraft on the field the other day, and they were charging. So we'll see what happens over time. I do know that Kissimmee is trying to really invest and make this a very different airport. Certainly not one that's going to be focused on light pistons and like, but I think they're trying to bring in jets and some of the newer technologies, which would be great if they were doing it responsibly. My humble opinion, they're not, but let's see what happens. I could be wrong. On another front, we are going to try to express our appreciation as well to the congressman and the congresswoman and the senator who pushed our bill through. So if you have a chance to write a thank you letter to Representative Doug Bankston and Kim Kendall, those two have really been instrumental, and Senator Tom Wright. Doug Bankston is out of the area around Apopka, representing parts of Orange, Osceola counties, and Ken Kendall is out of St. Augustine, and then Tom Wright is in the Daytona area. But if you have a chance to write them and just express appreciation, they've been out there on the front lines trying to make sure that the aviation is something that's enjoyed, the freedom is kept in the United States. Now, the fight does go on at the national level. Be on the lookout for letters or emails from AOPA with a call to action. We are going to be interested in the ALERT Act. So if you may not be aware of it, last year AOPA was working with Congress to get the PAPA Act introduced. It was an idea to prohibit the use of ADSB for billing on a national level. That unfortunately got kind of stuck in committees, kind of stalled out. I don't want to say it defeated, but it just didn't go anywhere. Along came the Rotor Act, which was part of the response to the collision in DC with the helicopter that had ADSB off and had a collision with the commercial jet right there over the Potomac. In response to that was the Rotor Act. Well, the Rotor Act died in also another portion of Congress. So the PAPA Act has now been inserted into the ALERT Act, and that got through the U.S. Congress, the House of Representatives, overwhelmingly. It's now been put back into committee with the Senate, so I would recommend, if you have the chance, contact your federal senators and ask them to support the ALERT Act as is. In the moment, it's a great win-win. It is prohibiting the use of ADSB for billing. It also is enhancing the requirement of ADSB in as well as out in all those key areas that are very high dense traffic. The beauty of that is it also makes a provision that you can satisfy the ADSB in requirements by using a Sentry and a ForeFlight running on an iPad. It doesn't have to be a integrated ADSB in technology. So it makes it much more affordable. For just a few $100, all aircraft can satisfy the requirements flying in that space. So this is all really good. That being said, I'm going to be hoping to post a lot more, and we're going to have a lot more fun things coming up. Fly-ins going through the state of Florida. I know I had heard some indications there was some pancake fly-ins that were going on down in the Everglades to support that airport, which is on the way to rebound. Fuel sales are up. They're making investments in the airport, growing it. It's getting a lot better. We still want to try to support Cedar Key. Maybe this year we'll put together a fly-in for folks to go fly into Cedar Key, go into town, get some food, as well as perhaps we'll do a breakfast or a Taco Tuesday down in, I'm not sure if it's Arcadia or Wauchula. I'll find out and let you know. But we're trying to get all the Florida pilots together. And then July 1st, if you're a Florida pilot, if at all you can do so, come buzz over Kissimmee, say hi to them, do one touch and go maybe, get your wheels back up and go. If your aircraft is above 5,000 pounds, above 12,500 pounds, understand that legally they can't charge you through ADSB, but if they do implement the cameras, they'll still stay with their current billing structure. So just be aware, if your wheels don't touch the pavement, they can't charge you. So maybe a low approach is probably the best way to go. And just don't touch the pavement. Make sure if they do charge you, you get that picture that shows your wheels hit. Outside of that, I hope you guys are doing amazing. We're going to make it a fun year. 2026 is going to be the year that we turn the momentum around for general aviation in this country, and I really do believe we've got some really good momentum going. So I'll post more shortly. Thank you to everyone who participated in protecting general aviation in the state of Florida and getting this bill passed. Huge thanks to, again, Stacey Heaton, Ron Creel, Craig Butterworth, Senator Wright, Congressman Banks, and Congressman Kendall, and so many more, just everything. And if you are not an AOPA member, I know that there's been some struggles this year with the Darren Pleasance departure and all, but I am telling you, we would not be where we are in this without AOPA. Please, if you are a member, maintain your membership. If you aren't, consider joining and have a voice in the things that do concern you. And I'm not saying that there's nothing there, but I do understand that the current leadership is not changed a single thing with respect to all of the legal protections and the fights to keep general aviation safe and free in the U.S. So more on that as we go, and looking forward to more national wins. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.